Alright, so here is the unrolled lithium ion cell, and there's one terminal here that I believe is connected to what looks like copper, this bronze thing, and this is like a sheet of plastic that on the outside it says AL repeatedly. It's printed on this part of the plastic, not the rest of the plastic, the letters AL. And then we have this black thing that it feels like plastic. So let me check if this black thing has any resistance, if it's conductive at all. So looks like it's not in the 200 ohm range, so it's not really conductive. So this is just probably a separator. Continue to unroll the battery, but actually, so this black thing has a terminal that is pasted to it, and it tears really easily. It's not a typical piece of plastic. Maybe this black thing is porous and contains some kind of conductor. The black goes on my fingers, which it's possibly graphoil, porous graphite. That's what I think it is. I think it's graphitic ink painted on. I think it's just like graphitic ink, because there's a terminal pasted to that the black thing. The black thing has a terminal pasted on. Normally you don't want to touch battery components that you don't know what they are. So I'm just unrolling it. Okay. Yeah, so that's that. This might be actually a conducting portion of the battery, but it breaks very easily. It's not like a typical piece of plastic. It's very brittle, and it has one of the battery terminals connected to it. And it smells very strongly of the solvent. It smells just like acetone-ish smell of the solvent that I smelled when This is heating up a lot right now. I believe I made a short here over here. It's getting very hot right here right now. With this thing. Oh, and it's bubbling. There's gas being formed with this. There's gas being formed. So not sure what's going on. This entire strip is gas being formed. So maybe this was the separator and I've caused something to make a connection. There's big bubbles forming and it's heating up. It's not extremely hot. It's just heating up. Yeah. Really hope this isn't carcinogenic or something. This is really not advisable to touch with bare hands. I should have really put on gloves for this. It's very tightly wrapped at the end. Terminals at the end all the way over there. Okay, so now I'm at the end, and now I can actually remove the plastic that's on either side of this. And you see on this side, Looks like graphite is like painted onto this copper to increase the surface area. I'm peeling the plastic off. The plastic actually fell apart as I peeled it off. Oddly enough, this smells kind of like Chinese food. And grab that, try to peel the plastic off. It does kind of rip. I guess the painted on graphene acts as like a glue. Doesn't want that to rip off. Yeah, I think that's about as good as you're gonna get. So this is copper with seams graphite ink painted on and then plastic glued on. And this is one terminal of the battery. And I believe the other terminal is this, which seems like a porous plastic with high surface area. And it has a higher resistance than 200 ohms. Let me try one more time getting the resistance of this. So you see, it is too resistant. Now the resistance of this other terminal, see, it does have a measurable resistance. It's only 16 ohms. But this other plastic thing that I thought was the other terminal has way too high a resistance to be acting as a conductor. It's not. It's an insulator, really. So this is doing all the conducting, and yet that other one, it did have a conductor glued to it. So a little bit not what I was expecting. I was expecting two conductors connected to the two ends of the battery, but only one end of the battery is connected to this conductive surface, which seems to be copper with painted on graphite surrounded by plastic.